Wouldn't it be naive to think that such a vast system as our planet Earth is not intentionally managed at all? We all understand that humans cannot control the climate, oceans, earthquakes, hurricanes, and other natural events. Unfortunately, real knowledge about our planet is very limited, and the information that is available is often ignored or dismissed. Moreover, the human brain is not powerful enough to control nature. Using the original sources from the Russian Scientific and Technical Society and the Research Institute Center for Preventive Strategies, we can measure the capacity of the human brain, currently no more than 2 to the power of 64 oscillations per second. In comparison, the intelligence of planet Earth operates at 2 to the power of 512 oscillations per second. From the very beginning, humans have influenced the evolution of the planet, but always under the guidance and supervision of Earth's energy information structures, its intelligence. There are no other sources of true knowledge. All discoveries and knowledge come from the planetary intelligence of Earth to help humanity complete the first stage of the planet's evolutionary development, where we are today. In this video, you will be introduced to an unconventional explanation of what we call the common cold. Earth, its intelligence, and its governing systems carefully monitor and control everything that exists on the planet and within the planetary system. This control is carried out through planetary technology and control complexes, including what we call UFOs, plasma formations, control cords, and even the animal and plant world. These actions take place within the atmospheric grid, which also plays a role in managing natural processes. It is Earth that governs the entire interplanetary system we call the solar system. However, for security reasons, the control system does not reveal all of the details about its work and control mechanisms. Everything in nature is constantly changing and operating according to the laws of the universe, laws not created by humans. One of these natural changes is the annual shift in life-supporting frequencies, including setting a new water standard for the coming year, forming a new reference model for humans, and other adjustments. Since a single video cannot cover all aspects of planetary management, we will focus specifically on the causes of colds, which are directly linked to changes in the processes that sustain human life. The support of life on Earth is a constant flow of energy from planetary governing structures, ensuring the existence not only of living organisms, but also of non-living matter. This life support process extends far beyond the activities of Earth's control complexes. It encompasses the governance of humanity, not only on our planet, but also at the cosmic level. Let's consider 2 examples. First, from time to time, the media warns people about solar magnetic storms. Many people, especially older individuals, experience discomfort during these events. But why do these storms affect human health? How exactly do they influence the population? The sun is not just a celestial body. It has its own control complex, responsible for controlling solar magnetars and pulsars. These structures transform galactic streams of photons and magnetic particles for the needs of our interplanetary system. The plasma streams ejected by the sun contain photons and magnetic particles that introduce new neural connection patterns into the human brain. When these patterns enter the brain, they rearrange neural connections, directly affecting a person's well-being. There are no barriers to this process, because these adjustments help preserve essential cognitive functions like thinking and reasoning. For humanity, this is an essential adaptation. The planetary intelligence is constantly evolving, and all of us must adapt along with it. Now, let's take a second example. In our galaxy, there exists a collective of planets with an intelligence level of 512th octave. There are 384 such planets, and Earth is one of them. Strangely enough, our planet has exactly 384 languages. Among them, Russian is considered the native language of Earth. The other 383 languages exist because of a constant flow of neural connection patterns transmitted to human brains from the planets within this collective. These neural patterns are exchanged through interplanetary communication channels. The human brain is a miniature model of the universe. Planets act like neurons, and the connection channels between neurons resemble the communication tubes between planets. This is just one aspect of the massive life support process. Every year, Earth's governing structures carry out extensive work to install and implement new life support programs. From October 25th until Easter each year, planetary governing structures perform a global frequency shift, adjusting the planet's control and regulatory systems. This process involves the introduction of numerous programs through Earth's energy information networks. Now, let's ask an interesting question. Why do viruses, such as colds and the flu and other seasonal illnesses, appear in late autumn and winter, spreading aggressively and sometimes causing severe complications? The key point is that this process happens year after year, a strictly periodic cycle. And that brings up an even bigger question. Where does the flu virus actually come from? When did this cycle start? And most importantly, why? In Russia, the flu virus appears during the cold season, with the peak of the so-called epidemic occurring in winter. That explanation seems reasonable, but how do we account for the fact that while northern regions are battling widespread respiratory illnesses in winter, southern regions, with their hot and humid climates, experience similar outbreaks at the very same time? Could the culprits be birds, animals, or other living creatures? It is worth noting that animals and birds fall ill at the same time of year as humans. According to modern medical views, the flu virus is not transmitted by birds, fish, or other animals. In fact, viruses do not spread at all in the traditional sense because they require a connection with the brain to survive. Outside a living organism, viruses do not exist as independent entities. Most cases of so-called seasonal illnesses, such as flu, acute respiratory infections, and colds, are actually the result of a frequency disruption in the normal life support system of biological structures when the system of Earth's management carries out its programmed adjustments. Understanding this phenomenon is impossible without basic knowledge of tritium, so let's take a brief look at this intriguing energy element. For the brain, heart, and entire human body to function rhythmically, it requires energy, which we obtain from air and water. The key energy element in these substances is tritium. However, when air is analyzed or weighed, tritium is not detected, as it exists in a non-material form. Here's what's crucial to know. The base frequency for processing tritium is reset once per year by Earth's control system for all people on the planet. If this base frequency is absent, a person may experience all forms of lung diseases, dehydration, and other health issues, and no medication will be able to help. Winter is not just a season of snow and cold weather. It is also a systemic process in which the remaining energetic tritium elements from the past year's atmospheric structures materialize as part of various management processes. Since Earth's management complexes update the frequency characteristics of tritium annually, the old frequency patterns become obsolete and must be removed from the system. This outdated energy is released onto the planet's surface, making way for tritium with new frequency characteristics. This annual reset process, the removal of old frequencies from biological life support systems and the introduction of new ones, directly coincides with the peak period of colds, flu, and respiratory infections. Snow, ice, hail, and other cold precipitation are, in essence, materialized tritium that is no longer needed. You can read more about this in Fyodor Skrudnev's monograph Reconstructing Reality, available on his website.